All right, Coach, well, thanks for taking a few minutes to sit down with us today. Welcome back to the conference. Now, I know when you coached at Louisville, the conference looked a little bit different, but you've had a small taste now of playing in the American. What has been your perception of the league from then until now?
Well, I've always respected this league, and like you said, when we were at Louisville and I coached at Louisville, there's some of the same teams that you're going to go up against now. We're in the league, and I think Randy was at Connecticut, and when I was at Louisville, so I had a chance to see Randy Attool. But it's a lot of different coaches, but the league hasn't changed at all.
Now, when a coach takes over a program, oftentimes there's quite a bit of rebuilding to do, but in your situation here, you inherit quite a bit of talent. What has been your assessment of this group throughout the spring and now fall camp?
Well, I just love their attitude. And I look at last season, and we had a conversation. They won 11 games. And I said that I'd like to commend you, but we didn't win the conference championship. So we have a goal that we can shoot for. But they come out to work each and every day, even when winter condition, and then going through summer condition, and then we're in the preseason camp. But their work ethic is unbelievable, and you can tell that that's what they want to do. We want to go out and just compete each and every day.
Now, you've spent the past 7 months or so learning about this group of guys, but they've also been learning a little bit about you. How do you feel that they have adjusted to your coaching style here in the offseason?
Well, it's always an adjustment, and when you go from one coach, Willie did an unbelievable job, and I think he was more an offensive coach. Now you come to me, who's more of a defensive coach. But it's just that you have a system that you need to put in place, and they know what the system is, and whether it be on offense, defense, and even in the kicking game. But the adjustment hasn't been as drastic as we'd like to think, but just because of the seniors that I have within this program. I have a lot of veterans, and they understand what needs to be done.
What would you say has been the biggest challenge since taking over this program?
Well, there's always going to be challenges, and what you have to guard yourself against is complacency. And you don't want to see that develop within the team, because now that they're always going to look to last season, and it's a memory, and you have to close the chapter on that book because the new season is beginning.
Your quarterback, Quentin Flowers, is getting quite a bit of attention nationally, and rightfully so. He's had an outstanding career at USF. What sets Quentin's skill set apart from other quarterbacks that you've coached in the past?
Well, Quentin is very dynamic, and he can really, you look at last year, he had 2,800 yards passing, 1,500 yards rushing, so he can throw the ball as well as he can run the football. The thing that sets him apart is just his leadership ability, and when the players on the team on both sides of the ball understand that when the ball is in his hands, that you have a chance to go win a football game. He's an unbelievable competitor. He loves to compete, and you see it each and every day with him, and that's why the guys have so much respect.
Fans and people all over the country see Quentin for his talented skill set on the football field, but what a lot of people don't know is that he has a very inspiring story, just the adversity that he's faced throughout his life and to where he's gotten today. How do you think the challenges and moments that he's faced growing up has impacted him as a leader on the field?
Well, when you go through so much adversity and so many challenges at such a young age, it just makes you stronger. And that's what it's done for him. It's just made him a stronger person. And sometimes, we kind of think that, just how a player that you really don't get a chance to know him, but Quentin's one of those guys that you can get to know him, and he'll tell you his story. And that's what you want to see happen. You want to hear his story, and then you have a better understanding of exactly who he really is. But he's a young man that he doesn't come about it where he want anyone feeling sorry for him. He just wanted hey, this is my story. These are the challenges. It's what I had to overcome. It's only made me a stronger person. That's why I'm able to be the person I am.
What can fans expect to see on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, defense is all about disruption. And you want to disrupt the rhythm of the offense. And you got to be pressure, you're going to have to be aggressive, you're going to have to play a lot of different coverages, a lot of different schemes, a lot of different fronts, but you just got to mix it up. But you want at the end of the day where guys can go play with a lot of effort and guys will go tackle.
When it comes to recruiting, your campus is in the state of Florida, which is a hotbed for talent. What is your recruiting philosophy, and how important is it to you to keep those guys here in their home state?
Well, you have to build a relationship not only with the student athletes that you're recruiting, but also with the high school coaches. And I've known a lot of high school coaches, even within this area, for a long time. Like I was just talking with Coach Winter today over at Plant. You have Coach Garcia at Hillsborough, and then down the road in Lakeland, you have Coach Castle. But you have a lot of coaches that have been at those schools for a number of years, and they're always going to have a player or two. So it's always critical that you want to make sure that you can keep your talent around you. You can get them and convince them somehow to come to school here.
So your team has been in fall camp now for what feels like quite a while, I'm sure. But USF actually gets to kick off the football season on August 26th out west at San Jose State. How has having an early game impacted the way that you prepare these guys to get ready for the season?
Well, what's been tough is that we've gone, we have 2 weeks in summer school, and now we have 3 weeks before we go play the game, but now we're about 10 or 11 days out, so they've really just been hitting one another. And you would love to have a preseason game where you can go scrimmage somebody else, but we can't get that done. But it's just how you got to change it up, and you have to just give them a different taste each and every day, and just not make it where it's so stale and so boring for them.
So you see these guys compete against each other on a daily basis, but I'm sure there'll be a lot to learn in that first game of the season for you. What are you specifically looking for from your team to kind of have some indication of how they might fare the rest of the season?
Well, you just want to make sure that the team is very disciplined. You want to make sure that the team plays with a lot of effort, but you want to make sure that they have fun playing, where you're aggressive on both sides of the ball, offense, defense, kicking game. But you want to see that your good players have to play really good. They have to play good, and then you got to bring enough guys along with them.
So you've gotten to experience game day both as a player and as a coach on several different campuses, and while the people and the cities and the environments may be a little bit different, what is your favorite thing that sticks out to you about game day the most that's consistent across the board?
Whatever school that game day is at, everybody, all the fans get involved, and they just make it one, big celebration. So you want to be a part of that. You want your players to be a part of it, where they feel the atmosphere and they feel the vibes that's just going all through campus and being on your campus that day.
USF has been a team that in recent years, they're still looking for that conference championship. They're still looking to get to that New Year's Day bowl game. What do you think will be the determining factor this year to whether or not USF can achieve those high goals here late in the season?
Well, you have to take it one game at a time, and it's a one-game season. And that's how you look at it. You have 12 opportunities, and you just take advantage, but it has to start with one, because you can't play 12 until you play one. And that's going to be our whole approach, just game by game, and everything else to take care of itself. We have to take care of our business.
You mentioned one game at a time, and the media is giving this program quite a bit of attention, obviously picked to win the conference this year, but your quarterback has Heisman Trophy conversations surrounding him. How would you assess how this group has dealt with all of this outside noise, knowing that they haven't even played a game yet?
No, and they haven't played a game yet, and that's what is going to be the telltales when we start the season, and how well we play. And the thing we can't allow to happen is them put pressure. There's no pressure. They can't put pressure on themselves. Just go out and relax and just execute. It's all about executing and just playing with, being a disciplined team and just playing with a lot of effort.
While the wins and the losses are very important, I know that as a head coach, integrity is also something that's very important to you. As you shape this program and establish your culture here, when people think USF football, what do you want the first thing to come to mind?
Well, you want to say they're a very disciplined team, and they play hard, because you always want people to say, God, look how hard and fast they play, and they play within themselves. They play as a team. You want to see that happen.